Good morning to you. The hardest charter I have ever done as a head chef. But it is the last full day on board, and I'm going to bring you along with me to show you what a really kind of more intense charter is like. We have some guests going off the boat today for a little excursion. So I'm going to bake off some croissants and that because it is still early in the morning. In fact, so early, my sous chef should be here right now. This is like 6 nights in a row with not enough sleep. It's quite quiet right now because the guests had a huge night last night. I think they only went to bed at like 4 a.m. So I'm not expecting them up early, but we also have guests of all ages on board. So some did go to bed early, so we're waiting for those ones. Anyway, we are doing Greek for lunch. So I'm gonna make some pita breads. Oh, I didn't think I mentioned this. We're actually doing a tandem charter. So it's us and then another boat beside us that have been cruising along with us, and all their guests come over at least once a day for a meal. So anyway, lunch is separate. So lunch we're doing Greek, and then dinner tonight, steak and chicken and pasta and all kinds of stuff. Go ahead.
Is it possible that you can get 5 of banana bread for the primary?
Alright, I'm still here on my seat, enjoying his Essie chopping. What you got going on today, girl?
Pork baps and salads and
Sweet
slaw
potato
and
bread. We cooked a pork shoulder overnight in the oven for how many hours? That was like almost 10 hours.
Yeah.
Really low heat, like 95 degrees. It's gonna be good. I will be honest with you guys. Sending the menus off is like one of the toughest parts of this charter because there are quite particular guests. And the first 2 days they were like, these menus are underwhelming. And my confidence took a bit of a blow. So now I'm like, ah! But I think I have got them down with what they like. I have sent the menus and it's like, it's 10 a.m. So I'm gonna start prepping with the hope that they approve them. We've just had a message from the primary guests and they want to have both meals together, both lunch and dinner. So we are working that in at the same time as doing more breakfasts. So I've just heard from the girls that there's only one guest left remaining to order breakfast. And I know that this guest typically only orders bone broth for breakfast. So I'm going to pack up the rest of my breakfast stuff as it is 11:45 and I need to start cracking on with lunch prep. Essie, you are
Pretty much done. I've got 10 minutes till lunch and then, yeah, final push.
final push for Essie. mask. I've got the other chef over from the other boat, Rafa, but he's a bit camera shy, so we're not going to show him. It'll just be me on the camera today. So Rafa and I cracked on with lunch prep, and in the meantime Essie was on cookie dough making duty. These guests loved ordering freshly baked cookies at midnight, so we were getting ahead of the game here, prepping the cookies. It's actually one of the things that made this trip a little bit more challenging, was there was just constantly ordering snacks like toasties, fruit plates, quesadillas, so it was accommodating that. This is one of the Greek tables the girls were setting for lunch. When we had all 24 guests on board, they would set this interior table and also the main deck aft table, so all 24 guests had somewhere to sit. These guests loved watermelon juice, so we actually took over the juicing duties for the interior girls just to help them out. We got it done a bit quicker with our big blenders, and it's always good to give them a hand when they need. This is our lunch prep on the go. Shrimp saganaki in the red, and then there's the yogurt marinated lamb chops. They were delicious. One big consideration for us when we are catering for 24 guests is we have limited flatware we can use, so it was pretty much white the entire time. Couldn't really use the brown or the black, but luckily the white suited the Greek theme really well, so we rolled with that. Now here's the menu. You can take a pause on the video and read the menu if you like. They pushed the lunchtime back a few times, so it was planned for 3:30. We're here looking very much ready to go. You know, when 24 guests sit down all at once, it's like go, go, go. So we are completely ready with garnishes, salads over at the side. Just as soon as they sit, it's like fire on everything and get everything out. So there are the pita breads and dips, first things to go out, so the guests have something to nibble on whilst we're plating the rest of the food. Then we go with the salads, the rice, the potatoes, these Greek lemon potatoes. Delicious, love them. The shrimp saganaki was just there. Then we have the yogurt lamb chops and chicken souvlaki. And then the last one was the sea bass with some roasted cherry tomatoes. So pretty much a straightforward service. And then it rolled straight into dessert. I love doing choux buns, and look guys, these weren't my prettiest choux buns, but they were very tasty. Filled with a caramel whipped cream, and that wrapped up lunch service for us. Rolling around to almost 6 o'clock, it's time for the crew dinner. It was so funny, the crew and the guests were eating at such different times, which was actually really helpful. But we've got to keep the crew meals consistent. Dinner at 6 every night, just to make things regular for them. So there's Essie, pretty much done with crew dinner, looking fantastic. And then in this little lull, I was getting some admin done, getting an order done for the next trip, and also trying to get the accounts tidied up for this one. Okay, I think this is the first time I've been outside all day, which is really nice. But look, there's a bit of a storm coming in. Woo. Deck crew, it's starting to rain.
Hey?
It's starting to rain. How's this charter been for you, Ricky?
Oh my gosh, chaotic.
Over there, that is our tandem vessel that's cruising with us. So they've been tendering their guests and crew over to help us out. That is so cool. We've had to duck outside. Look at that. Full rainbow. This is sparking joy for me right now. Got a little dopamine hit from there. Wow. Guys!
How insane is that? Guys, it's so insane. My whole phone stopped working.
Double rainbow.
Guys, what the
Yeah,
hell?
girl, work it. Now I know someone is bound to comment on this and say, hey, that steak you guys are cooking is overcooked. Now guys, trust me, we cook to the guest preferences and they asked for more well done steak, medium well, etc, etc. So we were catering to their preferences. It's always about what the guests want. It's not how we think the food should be served. That's the main thing about being on a yacht, is that you're cooking for the guest. So just jumping in there before anyone says. Now this dinner service was wrapping up about this time, and because the guests were having a little movie night in the main salon, it was kind of rainy outside, you saw the storm earlier, we did churros. And Rafa was cracking me up. He kept saying that the churros dough was like a little baby. He obviously has kids at home, and yeah, he was bouncing it like a baby. I thought it was adorable. We sent out a few last little mango and tahin snacks, and of course, by that time it was time for the guest cookies. So, baked off the chocolate chip white choc macadamia. There was a few comments on my last video asking about how we deal with the cheese wheel. So after we're finished serving, we scrape everything out again till it's back to kind of the fresh cheese. So there's no cream or anything left on there, and then we wrap it up in cling film with some paper towel inside and goes into the fridge. Okay, I see. Debrief time.
Oh. Hey.
It's 11:43 p.m. Dinner service is done. Say goodbye to our lovely Italian friend, Rafa. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Helped us out. Any words on this charter, Essie?
I'm broken. This is the earliest we've finished since a week.
This is actually the earliest we're finished. I think the guests are pretty tired after a big week of having fun. So yeah, I was quite surprised. Normally it's, gone midnight and stuff, but that was a very real insight into you're like, hey. But that was a very real insight into what it can be like on a busy charter. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Let's hope we see Essie smiling a bit more in the next video.
Sorry. Yeah, very sleepy, very tired, and ready for bed.
Bye, good night.
Bye.